Hello, Capricorn. This is Rebecca, Empathic Crow, and this reading is for August 2025. However, even though that is the energy that we are focusing on, if you see this later and there is a message for you, then there's a message for you. And trust that it is something you're meant to see at that time. I often forget to say, please like, share, and subscribe. I do love doing these. And while I don't post them to get likes and attention and things like that, I do want the message to get to who it needs to go to. So the more that you like, the more that you share, if you subscribe, then the more you can get those messages or more people can get those messages. And that is what makes me happy. For these messages, I have been focusing on, and a theme has been this Leo season and the 8/8 portal that if you're watching this before August 8th is coming up. And even with the Reiki video that I did for the subscribers of my website, empathicrow1111.com, try that again. It was about not just manifesting the things that we want, but also in order to manifest and fully embrace and get the things that we want, manifesting confidence and creativity, passion, healing that sacral and solar plexus chakra so that you are fully embracing it. We can say we want something all day, but until you feel it and you feel that you're able to have it and that you can get it, it's not going to happen for you. So having said all those things, let's go ahead and start the reading. I'm going to take a deep breath to ground myself and then call in my big four and we will start. So Capricorn, let's see what you need to focus on. God, angels, guides, and ancestors. What is the message for Capricorn right now? So the first deck I'm using is the Crow Tarot by MJ Cullinane. It's been a little while since I've used this one, and I do love my crows. So, all right, we had like a whole slew of them come out. I'm going to put those back in for now, just in case. I always say if it's supposed to come out, it will. And that is true because when I was recording Libra's video, I was almost at the end and then my dog started going crazy and I tried to push through, but then I had to start over and we did have the same message and some of the same cards come through as well. All right, so we're just going to shuffle a little bit more just to make sure that Capricorn's message comes through very clearly. And I'm not second guessing. All right, so Spirit wants you to have 3 cards out the gate at 3 minutes. All right, so first card is the 10 of Pentacles. So Capricorn, I feel like you're working hard to get this 10 of Pentacles situation where you feel abundant, you feel like you've got financial security, you have the things that you want, you have the things that you need, that you're in this position where you feel calm, confident, and comfortable, but you're not there yet. And it's not something that's been easy. We've got these lotus flowers. So the flowers that grow up through the mud, meaning that it takes a while and really there has to be a push. But we've got the new beginning up here. We've got these flowers and everything. You have people that can be supportive. But because we're not there yet, I feel like maybe some of them aren't necessarily supportive or they're not helping you. What you've been through, it's felt like a big burden to carry, but you also have the 10 of Wands. So 10s are typically kind of an ending. So with this, to get to this completion, you're going to have to release all of these burdens that you've been carrying, all of the things that are the shoulds, the wish I would have, I need to do this, the people that you feel like are dragging you down, the traumas, the hurt, the situations, all of that. And it's not easy to do. As I'm looking at this, I'm hearing the words buried under because this almost looks like somebody buried under. So like feeling that you're buried under those burdens. But know that the Knight of Wands is coming in pretty quickly. We've got that sun energy, that August Leo energy coming in. The wands in and of themselves tend to bring in this energy of passion and fire. And this Knight is saying, okay, You've thought about this long enough. It is time to make a move. If you don't move, you will stay stuck, feeling like you're in this energy of carrying all these burdens. We've got to make a move. So, Capricorn, what is that move that you need to make? I don't need to shuffle again. What am I doing? What is that move? Well, that one hopped. The Chariot, just reiterating that you've got a move you need to make. And look, we've got the moon right here. So looking at things that maybe you haven't taken a look at. What are the things that have been hidden from you, either because you haven't been focused on them or because you've been around people who haven't wanted you to see it, or they've told you that it wasn't possible, whatever it is. There's also a victory wreath right here that does actually look a bit hidden. And so with that, you have victory that can come, but you've got to release, as I said before, those anxieties. You have to let go of them. And it's interesting because this looks like a storm cloud with lightning coming out of it. So again, not saying that it's going to be easy. Even in this Knight of Wands card, the background's pretty dark except for that sun. But it already hasn't been easy. You had the 10 of Wands. But we've got to make change, because if you don't, then you're stuck in that discomfort. All right. So we definitely have gotten the message that for Capricorn, you've got to make some moves and you need to do it now. I was going to say, how do we do that? And it's releasing this judgment. So being able to, you see the skeleton bones in these crows, kind of like the death card, releasing the things that no longer serve you, whether that's emotions, whether that's fear, whether that's people, situations, whatever it is, releasing them. Especially if you feel that there's been this judgment that has been placed on you from whatever these situations are. With these stones, it's about finding that balance, being able to know that, yes, you have had to carry all of these burdens with you, but you can release them. You don't have to worry about that anymore. And people that have done things that have been hurtful to you, or have judged you, you got to let them go. This crow, there's so much going on around them and they're just kind of crying out. And what I'm seeing as I'm looking at that is them, like, that primal scream is what I'm hearing. Just, there's all this chaos that has gone on, this 10 of Wands that you've carried around. And part of that releasing is just letting it out, however that is, whether it's writing, whether it's talking to someone, whether it is just even talking to yourself. Sometimes they can be helpful, but letting go of those things and saying, you know what, I'm not going to let you hurt me or hold me back anymore. Capricorn, you have such a heavy energy that you have been carrying around with you, and you don't have to carry it around anymore. And like, even what I'm noticing is your first two cards, the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, 10 and 10 is 20. Judgment card is 20. So again, to find that balance, because I talked about the balance in the Judgment card, to get this that you want, you're going to have to let go of some things, and it's not always easy. We have the Hierophant here. So with the Hierophant, the key is you. The key is you. Notice that the key is down here between these two crows. It's not up here with the Hierophant. The key is you. But you may have to find somebody, whether that's a counselor, a teacher, a coach, a trusted guide, divine guidance, whatever it is, finding somebody, could even be a book, but something or someone that helps you to be able to sort through all of these things, because you're in that stage with the 5 of coming to that point of a turning point, things starting to change. And you may not be able to do it on your own just because you've had so much stuff going on. But even with these wings, like I said, it could be higher self, divine guidance, angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, whatever it is. And it can't even be people that are in alignment with you, people that you just connect with, creating your own crow community. Anything else from the Crow Tarot? Goodness gracious, Knight of Cups. We have so many Knights coming out in the last 2 readings for Sagittarius and for you, Capricorn. With the Knight of Cups, this is a slower energy than many of the Knights. There's still some movement, but this is going to be really reining in those emotions, allowing yourself to move through them. Notice that there are fish literally falling out of the air. So I was going to say, abundance, which is the 10 of Pentacles, but it feels like what you want, you can just attract. Like, it's, instead of this being the energy of all these wands, it feels more like you being able to recognize and calm your emotions by understanding that there is a new beginning with these flowers, these fish. You want it, you've got it. Like, it's just coming at you. The good stuff, the things you need, things that are going to nourish you, you've got them coming at you. There is abundance that is coming, but you have to focus on calming these emotions, finding that balance that we talked about in the Judgment card, getting really clear on what it is that you want. We have the angel wings again on the horse here. So that divine guidance, higher self, it's just being able to even recognize that you are doing this yourself. Like, even with this horse, the crow's not riding on its back. Like, you are creating this yourself. It's just you also may have supports that help you along the way. And if you don't have those positive supports right now, you will. It's just really letting go of the things that aren't helping you so that you can see the things that will. Anything else from the Crow Tarot? The Tower. Don't be afraid of the Tower. The Tower just means, as we said with the Judgment card, you got to let go of this stuff. You're staying stuck in these situations, positions with these people who are not helping you. So if you're trapped in this tower and you're staying there just because, well, like a client and I talked about the other day, the phrase, the devil you know. Sometimes we stay stuck in a situation because you already know the bad stuff with that. If I do something different, yeah, it might be good, but it might not. The Tower says, you're not allowed to stay in this tower anymore. It's going to get so uncomfortable, you have to move. So you've got to take this Knight of Wands and say, screw this, I'm moving on. You have to move on. So what does Capricorn have to look forward to when they lean into this Tower moment and use it to grow versus feeling afraid of it? 12:12 on the clock. May have to look at an oracle deck for that. 7 of Pentacles. So with this Tower moment, just keep in mind that it doesn't mean you're losing everything. You have put in work for stuff, but you're not even necessarily happy with the things that you're doing to create the wealth and abundance or the life situation that you have right now. So just know that's kind of reiteration again, that this Tower moment, don't be afraid of it. It's just here to change some things up so that in creating that abundance of the 10 of Pentacles, you're creating it from a space where you feel in alignment, you feel comfortable, confident, and it feels good to you. Not saying things aren't going to be difficult sometimes, but that you're in a situation where it doesn't feel like it has to be such a chore to create that abundance, because you deserve to have some pleasure and enjoyment in your life. King of Cups is going to be our last card from the Crow Tarot deck here. So with this King of Cups, it's really, again, letting go of the anxieties, calming the chaos of the emotions, that water that's surrounding, understanding that your cup is full. And even with this sailboat back here, I'm seeing again that focus on the Chariot, that if you can calm your emotions, figure out what it is that you really do love. What is it that lights up your heart? That heart chakra is coming to me. You're going to make the move, and it's going to be better than you even thought it was. In fact, there's water around the bottom of this cup. Like, your cup can overflow, but you got to let go of some of those emotions. So let's go to the Inner Child Oracle. I've been using that quite a bit because, as I've said in the other readings, all of us have some inner child stuff to heal. Even if you didn't feel like you had a bad childhood, it doesn't mean that there weren't things that happened in your childhood that created some unhealthy thought patterns, coping skills, things like that. So how do we release it? And if you're carrying all those burdens and not feeling satisfied, there is definitely something, whether childhood or from the past, that you've got to release. An unhealthy way of navigating relationships, work, or whatever that needs to be released. So let's see what comes out. Oh, again, you're coming out with, or was that Sagittarius? 16, which breaks down to a 7, go inward. It's time to connect with your inner child. And we got that butterfly those butterfly wings. This is a time of transformation, and it's not always easy. But you have the mountains in the background and you've got these flowers in the foreground. Like, it's not easy, but new beginnings are coming. 23, which breaks down to a 5, let it go. That's what I was talking about when I said this is a time of change. Excuse me. You've got to let go of some of those things that have not been serving you. And even with this card makes me think a lot of the 4 of Swords in the tarot deck, where it's that period of rest. So being able to not only let those things go, but to rest, to really take that time to decide what it is that is going to help you. 21, which breaks down to a 3, let go of the past. Notice we've got those lotus flowers again. It's time to envision a new story. And that's what this reading has been about, is being able to figure out what it is that you really, 15:55 on the clock, what you really want and how to get there. And know that whatever scripts, whatever story, whatever expectations you feel like you've had in the past or others have had of you, you don't have to go by that. And your last card is one of my favorites. It is actually the image that is on the bottom of the box. Well, the inside of the bottom. And this is 25, which is a 7 as well. Your inner child has something to say. Look how beautiful that is. So you get to take some time to listen to yourself, listen to that inner child, let go of those judgments, allow yourself to embrace what you want, who you want to be, what are the things that are going to be helpful to you, regardless of what others think. And I can't remember if I've said this in your reading, but I've said it a lot today because, as I said, the messages tend to be very similar sometimes. If you're not hurting or having the intention of hurting yourself, someone else, or doing something criminal, just be yourself. Just do what you want to do. Other people may not be comfortable with it, but if they can't accept you as yourself or accept the things that you want, it's not worth it. So we are going to pull a card from the Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle by Abiola Abrams. I don't know why I said her name wrong the last 2 readings. I usually don't. That's so weird. She is a very cool lady. When I did the Hay House Tarot certification, she was one of the presenters. So Abiola Abrams and her Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle. So what do the ancestors have to say to you, Capricorn? What is their final word on the message that you've received? The matriarch, nurture the harvest. The number is 3. We talked about being able to see what your inner child has to say and to be able to let go of the past and let it go. And this is the card that's coming to me. This nurturing, this is for you right now. Not nurturing other people. You've done that a lot. Nurture the harvest. So creating that 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles being that abundance in the harvest, you've got to put in that nurture first. So take some time to rest, take some time to focus on what you want, and then lean into that energy of making change, making a positive change for yourself. Well, Capricorn, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I do look forward to doing more in the future. If you feel called to, like, share, subscribe, you can visit my webpage. I have a blog, I've got services, the monthly metaphysical meetup, the Reiki videos, all of those things. And I just look forward to hearing from you and continuing to do this. Thank you. Take care.